Oh, well, thank you very much, Crystal Nicole and Brian Bateman, for coming on the show. I enjoyed that interview, and we hope you did too. I've got Doug here from Wish Granters, and we were just visiting out in the hallway, and thankfully I asked him a couple of questions that I'm glad I found out the answer to before I came on camera. It would have been a big makeup mess. He's got some pretty amazing things going on, and when I say he's a one-man show over at Wish Granters, isn't that right?
I'm not. You got the whole staff on the show today.
All one of you.
All one of me.
Wow, you're a very attractive staff.
Well, thank you.
Well,
thank
you're welcome. Okay, so for Wish Granters, I know that there's a lot of, there's Make-A-Wish Foundation, and that's for children. But this Wish Foundation, or Wish Granters, is what?
There are lots and lots of organizations that do wishes for children around the country. I spent over 12 years granting wishes to kids, so I know how important that is. You can count on one hand the number of organizations there are that do wishes for adults, and that's what Wish Granters is all about. We grant wishes to adults in Ada and Canyon counties, 18 and over, who have terminal illnesses. We make their dreams come true.
Okay, so in Ada and Canyon County. So
Yes.
what does it? Clearly, they have to be terminal.
Yes.
And they have to live in either Ada or Canyon County. And then what else? And be over 18.
Be over 18 years of age.
Okay.
Yes.
So then how would they come about? Where do you get these kind of referrals from them? I mean, then?
A lot of them come from different hospice organizations. They will approach us and tell us about people they're working with. But sometimes it's a family member or a friend who makes the referral, or sometimes it's the individual themselves who makes the referral.
Okay, and so like what kind of things have you already done? Because I understand that you started in 2010.
That was our first wish, yes.
Okay, so you're still relatively brand spanking new with this.
We are, just a little over a year and a half old.
A year, just kind of
doing
baby,
wishes, yeah.
And you're making wishes, and then, but you've done 55 already.
That's right, our 55th wish is out right now. Her wish was to go to see her family members in Jackson, Ohio. That was where she was from. She wanted to see them one last time before she wasn't able to travel any longer. Our very first wish was a gentleman with Lou Gehrig's disease who wanted to go on a helicopter ride with his wife and 2 sons. And he got to do that. We lost him about 3 weeks after the wish, but that family has a memory of a time with Dad they never would have had otherwise.
Right.
We've done a couple of Disney wishes, Disneyland wishes. We had a gentleman with a brain tumor. He told me he wanted to take and he has little kids, and he wanted to take them to Disneyland before he was unable to do that, and he got to do that. And then we just had another gentleman get back from his wish to Disneyland. He took his 2 little granddaughters and his daughter just last week. They got back. And
so these are, I mean, this show, your Wish Granters is it's hard to imagine. And I'm sorry, but when you think of, Make-A-Wish Foundation for children, I mean, we see that so often, but it's hard. I think even it's harder for me being a parent with young people, with young children, to think that these young children are left without that parent.
Yes.
And then you guys make an opportunity for that parent who won't be able to be there for some of the biggest things in their lives, for them to have some wonderful memory.
That's a big part of it, and people need to understand that the illness impacts not just the individual, but the whole family.
Right.
And so does the wish.
Right.
We did a wish for a gentleman named Don who had cancer, and his wish was for new carpet for their house. It was obviously a wish for the family.
And that's such a little thing.
Yeah,
right?
it was. Yeah, when he told me what the wish was, when I was doing the wish visit, that's when I meet the individual.
Right.
His three girls were sitting on the couch, and they started to cry, and they said, "No, Daddy, don't wish for something for us. Wish for something for you." But he stuck with it, and he got to pick out the carpet and see the first of it laid down before we lost him. We did a wish for a gentleman who wanted to go fishing with his son and grandson in Hell's Canyon.
What a great trip.
Oh, and it had been rainy and cold and yucky, and I was just scared to death it wasn't going to happen. That day, it didn't rain. I got a call from the folks who took them out on the river the next day, and they said, "We don't know who you guys know, but it was the perfect day for going out fishing."
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. So you do a whole heck of a lot for these people. And I said, well, what if they want to go to the Eiffel Tower? You just said we don't do international trips.
We don't. Part of that's because of the cost.
Well, it's a lot.
It is, but part of it also is because of lack of health care in a lot of countries.
Oh,
so you know.
Well, that makes sense because
Yeah.
if they're already terminal, I mean,
We don't want them.
Something could happen.
Something could happen.
Okay,
Yes.
and so when I said you were the only one, the only part of your staff, I mean, do you need volunteers?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Always. We need volunteers to help at special events, volunteers to help in the office sometimes if we have a mailing going out or something like that to help. Yeah, we do. We couldn't survive without volunteers.
And so, but you don't have any right now?
We have
or
some. We have
you
some.
do have
but
some.
you can always use more because people aren't always available when you need them. You know, they have something else going on, so you have to go to the next person on the list to see if they can help.
Right. Okay. So then, where actually then would they go to if you could tell somebody, where would you go to? What kind of needs do you have as far as like looking for volunteers specifically to give you some help with making all of this happen? That's a huge undertaking for you. It is.
A lot of the volunteers help at special events, special fundraising events to help bring the money in to do the wishes.
Okay.
I mean, that's a key.
Right.
We couldn't do them without the funds. It's just.
And the sponsors are coming from where? Where do you get the sponsors from?
As far as the cash donations or
cash donations
in kind,
or
yeah, the cash donations come from individuals. They come from businesses. They come from clubs and organizations.
Okay.
Memorials. In-kind donations mainly come from businesses. For instance, hotel rooms and things like that.
Right.
We try real hard to get donated. Our biggest need, though, are cash donations.
Cash.
Absolutely. We need the support of the community, the business
Oh,
community.
hey, I got an idea. We're doing our dodgeball tournament in September, and 25% of all of the money that we get from that is going back to charities. Would you be willing to accept 5% of the charity money that we get from that?
Absolutely.
Oh, yay! Maybe
That'd
we
be
can
great.
help make somebody's final wish actually come true. That would be a huge thing for us, I'm sure. I mean, to be a part of that. So if you could really quickly tell everybody where they could find you to either help out with sponsorship or volunteer opportunities, or even if there's somebody in the community who needs a wish fulfilled for themselves, please, Doug, tell them where they could go to find you.
We have a website. It's wishgranters.org.
Okay.
We have a Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook.
Okay.
Or you can call us at 377-9029. 377-9029.
Okay, and then do you have an email address that somebody could send something to?
Yes, Doug@wishgranters.org. And you can make contributions online at our website.
Oh, you can. And you're 501(c), so all of that is for charity.
Yes, you can write it off.
Ooh, I love that. Well, thank you very much, Doug, for joining us. And I'm sorry I got a little emotional having him on here. It's just it's a hard topic to talk about, but it's one that's very, very necessary. Thank you again, Doug, for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
You bet.
I look forward to seeing you at the dodgeball tournament.
I'll be there.
You will?
You bet.
That would be really great. I'd
All
love
right.
that.
Good.
That's perfect. So